Hi guys, welcome to today's episode of Pretty Girls Don't Speak.
Hey, I'm Jai, always staying fly.
And I'm Tatiana, and today we are going to be getting into the topic of pussy power.
Pussy power.
And this is something, that if taken the wrong way, it can maybe offend some people or people might not answer it. So I just want to start off by explaining what we mean by pussy power. So for me, pussy power is just the conscious knowing of that, what I have between my legs is a key. And I don't mean to say that I need to use it, but it is a key that people will treat you differently, and people will let things slide because they want an attempt to have sex with you. That's a bold statement, but it's true.
Yes.
And it's a thin line because, they're going to respect you for that thing in between your legs, which is very almost misogynistic, but you have to take that privilege and run with it. Really.
Yes,
so I think that for me, pussy power is knowing that because I'm a woman and so many men want to have sex with me, I can use that for my own advantage. This sounds so bad, I can manipulate somebody because of what's in between my legs, and they think that they're going to have a chance with me even if they never ever will.
That's true.
Or, there's a heavy box at work. Let's say, oh my God, this is so heavy. I can't lift it. It's women empowerment. And it's taking that, and knowing what you have. People say you get dickmatized, but there's pussy power too.
Yeah, there is pussy power. And, Tatiana, how the saying goes, why... milk the cow if I could have the whole cow
or the whole damn cow.
Right. And for what? So I think pussy power really is a divine, energetic substance that actually, just like you said, gets you exactly where you need to be. So why don't give it away so freely? Don't give it away so freely.
That's what I think that we need to really entertain, is though this topic is about pussy power. When you lose that power is when you give it up. I think that when guys take you more seriously so that you can use that power, it's when they think maybe there's a chance, but there's not a chance. But oh my God, that just freaked me out. But when you hold off, and you respect yourself and your body as a temple. And you hear that all the time. People are like, treat your body as a temple. But when you truly don't just give in to everyone and give your energy to everyone, that's when the real power kicks in. The power in being able to say no to a dusty, really.
No, to a dusty. And, men, they will be manipulative as well, just to get your pussy power, Tatiana. They will. I mean, you have guys that will take you out on dates. They'll do all of this and make you think but really a majority of men, they're like, I just want that. Hey, I'm taking her out to eat just to get that power. And, I think, when it does come to the power that we hold in our wombs, it's like a guy, he's just looking for it and he's like, all right, well, I'm going to get me some pussy. All right, I finally got it. Ooh, that was perfect. Man, I needed to get that stress off my shoulder. But then, us as women when we give it away too quick, we're found in the corners really depressed, and just drained of our energy. And we're trying to figure out why. It was because the other person didn't have the right intention. And us as women, we hold so much sacredcy. It's like that power. We're actually giving that other person that we're coming in that sexual exchange with that same power that we hold as divine women, beings. We hold a lot of value, a lot of power. And a lot of men with the wrong intentions, that's what they're just seeking out to get,
And once they get that, I feel like they, sometimes they'll ghost and they'll leave a woman like, what did I do wrong? And the woman's like, it was my fault. I did this. Or what, why was I not enough for this person? And the real thing is you have to hold out until you know, really care about somebody, or it's your decision. But don't give up that power thinking like, oh, this is going to make him stay. Because a lot of times we try and do that and then they don't take us seriously.
Right.
It's a game.
Yeah.
And though we don't like playing games, you know, and I'm sure that there's people out there that don't play games, 90% of this world is going to play games. So I just feel like by holding off, not giving your entire body and soul, because women, when we have intimate relationships with somebody in a sexual way, we come from an emotional standpoint. It don't matter if the dick is good if you don't have a good connection. You know, it doesn't matter the size if you don't have a good connection, I feel like, with somebody. And when you do have that connection, you know, you feel safe. You feel taken care of, feminine, you know. When you don't and you're just trying to fuck, you feel that masculine, like, I don't give a fuck about you, you know. Just really vulgar kind of sex.
Hey, and if that's what you're looking for, and if that's what you want, like, hey, you know, I just want to get a quick, you know, nut off, or however anybody say it, like, you know, be my guest, you know, tend to the desires of your flesh, but also be aware of the energy that you hold, or the energy that you're putting into you, because you'll get somebody who has some like really, really traumatic, dark, not healed, depressed, anxiety-ridden energy, and you just wanted to, you know, please your flesh. And then, you know, a couple of weeks or maybe the next day later, you know, it may felt good right there in that moment, but then you're going through all of these anxieties and depression, and you're just trying to figure out, okay, well, what's going on with me? I'm kind of off. And like I said, sexual energy is a very sacred energy that is going into exchange. So when two come into a sexual tangle, you know, you really do intertwine your energies. And even though you do want to, you know, fix that quick, you know,
make sure you're doing it with someone that actually cares about you, at least.
At
least. Not somebody that's just gonna like steal your energy. We talk about energy vampires all the time on the show. That's the same thing sexually. Somebody will do that because they want to take that out of you. You know, they see your happiness, they see, you know, your energy, and they just want to be, oh, let me go inside, get that feeling, because not everybody gets you in that intimate way. So if somebody does, they can say that they did, and then they'll write you off like nothing. You know, I have so many guy friends, and honestly, this is another huge reason why my trust issues are like just stacked, because all these guys care about is hitting something. That's all they care about, and they don't care what she looks like. If they got a pass with this woman and she's just been like a trash woman, you know, like gossiping, you know, just negative energy, they'll still fuck, because pussy is pussy. But when you own your pussy, you own your energy, you value yourself as a woman, and you don't just let anybody hit, you know, anybody. You're going to feel powerful. And there's been studies, you know, scientific studies, men and women that are celibate, or, you know, or hold off, you know, practice abstinence, I guess, or just like basically don't have sex, you know, for longer amounts of time. They cultivate more energy within themselves, so they have higher self-esteem, higher happiness levels, you know, can sleep better, have more just self-discipline and self-control that leads to better, you know, in their day-to-day lives. People like boxers or athletes, they're not, supposedly they're not supposed to have sex before they have like a big match, because it's saving their like athletic capability, I guess, their energy. And so it's like there's similarities, and yet with men, you know, they can get what they want too. We should be able to get what we want.
And I think with men, I think that's called semen retention.
Is that?
Yeah, and a lot of just those studies, you know, men who hold and retain their semen are actually more attractive.
Really?
To women. Like, women are more drawn to them, like a hormonal or pheromone level, like they're more attractive. They display more confidence. Men who retain their semen, they're more, how can I say this? Confident, more, they're not fearful. They don't live in a fear-based frequency. They don't live on those lower planes of existence. And with women, And I must say, like, throughout my journey, like, I retained from sex for like 3 years. And I kid you not, I came into the most divine understanding, self-awareness, and it was just the most blissful thing that I learned myself so much.
Mm-hmm.
Being not having sex and then holding that power and cycling that power through me, I came to a self-realization that I probably would have never came to.
Yeah, I was single for a bit, and definitely not 3 years, but I was single for a bit, and that small amount of time, I really, really, really felt the most myself. I didn't feel like I had to give anybody my energy. I didn't have to give anybody my time. It was really just all focused on me.
Yeah.
You know, and withholding that instant gratification, and you allow yourself to just really get to know what makes you feel good naturally.
Yes.
You know, because I feel like in the world that we live in today, instant gratification, you know, you got your phones, you can watch porn at any moment, which, can I just say, like, porn is bad for you.
Porn is crazy,
if you want to watch porn, that's your business. I personally don't watch porn. I did, like, back in the day, but it's so bad for you, and it's so bad for women and men in general, because now everyone's expecting your penis to look like this. Everyone's expecting your vagina to look like this. Everyone's expecting you to act like this in the act of sex. Everyone's expecting it to, you know, whatever, the craziest fantasies that you might not even think of because you're watching it. And it creates the most unrealistic expectation for men and women.
Absolutely. It totally skews the perception.
And kids are watching this stuff on accident. I remember being a kid and, like, Googling YouTube, but I spelt you with just a U because I was a freaking child. Yeah. And it was just a porn site. And I remember, like, being like, what is this? And my cousin was like, oh my God, like, wow, dude, you just, like, and I was crazy. Like, super young. So it's just like kids are exposed to that, or the TikTok videos, the Twitter feeds, you know, and it's just porn getting brought up. And I actually don't have any of that. I don't have Facebook. I don't have Twitter. I have Instagram, but my Instagram is very wholesome. It's like cooking videos, you know, and like stuff like that. But I can't imagine young-minded individuals in today's age just drowned in a sea of inappropriate content that they feel like they need to live up to.
And those are the patriarchal systems that we just live in. Those are the structures to actually hinder the minds of the youth. I mean, like, come on, you put you and then tube. Like, somebody was really thinking about that. Yeah. Like, YouTube, and, you know, all of these kids, everybody on earth is going to, the kids are already texting. So therefore they're already texting like half words, like WYA and you, and, you know, all those, you know, short phrase words. And that I honestly, I just feel like, you know, that's pretty much a genius weapon. Like, I feel like there is inorganic beings that are working against humanity to create a suppression and a division to actually stifle us from becoming the God that's within us.
Exactly.
Do.
I feel like the giant miseducation about sex that we receive, you know, as children and within our own families due to religious, you know, stigmas, is hindering us, you know, as humans, because we're taught don't do it. You know, in my family, we were just taught don't do it. My mom swears I'm a virgin. Like, she probably knows I'm not, but to me, if I'm in my mom's face and she brings up anything about sex, I don't even entertain. I, like, to this day, like, never told my mom. Like, if she watches this, like, I'm fucked. But I've never told my mom, because I'm like, that's weird, because y'all raised me to not want to be comfortable with that, you know? And I was, like, growing up, I was ashamed to, like, explore my body physically because, oh, God's watching. You know, I'm like, okay, I'm just here. But then I was, you know, abused at a young age, sexually abused at a very, very young age. And that created a hypersexuality in me that I didn't even understand until I was older. So though the abuse was, you know, not my whole life, it was like a little small area of my life, it definitely created, like, where I didn't have self-worth. And I wanted to give my privates to whoever would stay with me, you know, because I felt like I needed that love, because I didn't feel that love from my family. Though the love was there, definitely grew up in a rougher, you know, family upbringing. So it's like I felt like I needed to depend on, you know, someone that liked me. And I held out. I didn't have sex until I was out of high school already. I made that promise to myself that I wouldn't. And I didn't do anything until I was out of high school. But after that, I definitely went through my hoe phase, and there was no power. There was no pussy power. Yeah,
no, I have.
There was no pussy power there. It was just pussy. You know, it was the power for the men. I was basically giving, you know, all of my power up to be liked and to be wanted and whatever. But now, you know, it didn't last forever. It lasted momentarily, and then, you know, I started understanding my self-worth a little bit more around like 19, 20 years old. But yeah, like I just think that if women from a young age are taught, you know, how to express themselves sexually, healthily, you know, and we're humans, it's our nature. It's literally in our nature. We can't shame the youth for wanting to explore their bodies. And it's a weird topic, and it's a weird, even for me to think about, because I didn't grow up that way. But it's true. Like, if we don't teach them the healthy ways to explore themselves, they're going to explore other people, you know?
I agree. I think even in the educational systems, like the sex education courses are not courses that actually help any of the youth hone in on their sacred sexuality. You know, it is
it's all physical.
It's all physical. And going back to the hypersexuality, even me as a young age, you know, I was hypersexual, and I always felt like that was the only way for someone to, or a guy to like me, or somebody to like me, is if I just hurry up and just give it real quick. Like, oh, this is what they want. Like, this is how they will see me. This is how it's supposed to be. This is, if I give up if I have sex with this person, then they'll be able to see me for who I am. So
they'll give you a chance.
Give me a chance, see me for who I am. We'll be happily ever after and just live on cloud 9, right? No. And so hypersexuality had a big effect in my life, and how it actually skewed my mentality, made me feel like, okay, this is where my love is at. This is how I show my love, is through having sex.
And that's the problem with that too, is there goes the pussy power.
There it is, down the drain. There it goes.
And now you're left feeling like a deflated balloon, just sitting there like, well, why did I do that?
Why am I not wanted?
Why don't they want me? Am I not good enough? That wasn't good enough. You put all of your worth there, versus in your mind, in your humor, you know, in your personality. And now here's the power though, is when you hold on to your energy and you hold on to giving out, you are setting firm boundaries with these men. So I have men hit on me so many times a day at work, so many times, and I don't even give them the chance, you know? This is how I get my money. Like, these guys are giving me money because they feel comfortable flirting with me at the bar. But even then, I'm not feeding into it. I'm not telling them, like a lot of girls, they'll get $100 bill and they'll feel pressured, like that you're owed something now. You know, okay, now I gotta
do it in return.
This. Yeah. That's not the case. That's when you set that pussy power boundary and you say, I'm not gonna give up. Thank you. I will take your money. Thank you.
Thank you for offering.
I will take the compliments. But no, thank you. That's not enough to enter my box. You know, to enter this box, you gotta love me for a long time. Show me you love me. Value me as a person and a woman. You know. You
hear that? For any men listening, do you hear that? Make sure, like, we're giving you the sauce right now.
That's the sauce. and the problem is guys will tell you whatever to get into your pants. It's your business to decipher, you know.
Good word.
Some people will play the game real good and you won't even realize it, and then you're like, oh shit, now that they got what they want,
pulled that rug. You're just like in la la delusional land.
But at least you can blame that person for being a piece of shit person and not you for not having your self-worth. You know? So, and also wrap it up. Don't let these guys paint all over your sacred walls, okay? Unless this is the person that you want to have a baby with, please wrap it up. Or be on birth control or something. Like, if you allow somebody to have your baby that, well, like you, Jai, with your husband, you know, you had his babies.
Ex-husband.
I'm so sorry about that.
No, it's okay.
You had his babies. How did that leave you feeling when you found out everything?
You know what? That it left me feeling sad. It left me feeling disgusted, Tatiana. It left me feeling angry. And that anger fueled passion in me to not ever let anything happen to my kids once for all, not to ever get played by anybody or manipulated by anybody, and to be aware and just come into that divine forgiveness, you know. But it left me feeling like shit.
Yeah.
Like it was like, what the wait a minute, how many people have you done this to?
And he had like hella other kids too.
Hella other kids.
So those are all people who are probably thinking the same thing. Like, why did I let this happen to me? And it's the simple manipulation of him onto younger women.
Yeah.
You know, girls that don't have their self-worth. And I think that's another episode that we never talked about making, but I would like to make, is the self-confidence.
Yes.
And building that confidence and having that self-worth from a young age. Because if you're not wired that way, it's so hard to come into that without being played. Because being played and being hurt and being ran through like the dirt made me really realize I don't ever want to be treated like that again. These are my boundaries. These are what you guys have to do to even get my attention. And then we'll talk about it.
Yeah. So like, what are some ways that we could just kind of see that coming from a mile away, and to some tools that we can help decipher?
Love bombing.
Ooh.
Love bombing is like the quickest way for a guy to get into your pants.
So what's love bombing?
Love bombing is when somebody met you, probably knows you for 2-3 weeks.
Yeah.
Let's say 2 to 4 weeks.
Okay.
And all of a sudden they're in love with you. You know, they're telling you they love you. They're buying you everything that you want and more. They're spoiling you, massaging you every day, cooking for you every single day, taking you out to nice dinners, whatever it is. Whatever it is. And it's so much. And even you are like, I don't even like this person that much. But this person's making me like them a lot because of everything they're doing for me. But they don't know you as a person. Or, God forbid, that you're scared to say something around them because you don't want to offend them. And the second that they show the slightest bit of, like, being offended, you cover up your tracks. And you're like, oh, that's not what I meant, you know. That's a red flag.
Yeah.
Because that means that that person doesn't really care about you and your opinion. They just want something from you. So that stuff, just, like, super quick. And those are narcissistic, like, indications when somebody's love bombing you. When somebody's quick angered with you, like I said, like, you know, you say one thing and then all of a sudden they're like, they change and you're like, oh shoot, I don't want that. Let me act right. Like, that's a red flag. And then just like the way that somebody treats their loved ones.
True.
You'll see that easily, like the way that they were raised. Even if they treat their loved ones good, if you could see that they're raised in a family where maybe the man is valued more, that's also a red flag.
Like the guy gets the bigger meal. I want to go into that one a little bit later, but you know, I think when it comes to the love bombing, I fell victim of so much love bombing, so much that I even started projecting love bombing, and it's a form of insecurity.
Yeah, it is. It's
a form of insecurity, and I think another thing, another indicator to know when someone is, you know, not at the best intentions is check out their demeanor. Because I know along in my journey, just being able to observe someone's body language, and say for instance, you got a guy over here is just like, and just all the heavy breathing and every little action that you do, it just seems unsatisfying to that person. That's a true indicator.
That right there, what you just said, when you're doing something and this person is criticizing you like a motherfucker, like I remember like this guy I dated was doing all the love bombing, all everything, and I would try to do something nice for him. He would not allow me ever to be myself and to express love the way that I express. So when I would try like cooking or something, he would embarrass me in front of people and make me feel like an idiot. And ultimately that was like the demise of our relationship, thank God. And it took me like 6 months to get out of that situation, which really wasn't that long. But still, I was like, that 6 months, this person, you know, was putting me down, calling me names, making me feel stupid in front of people. You didn't care to embarrass me in front of people also. Like, that's a huge... If they do that in private, that's still terrible. Like, please leave. But also, you're doing that in public. You don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
You can't read the room.
Pretty much.
And that's
another thing is when they fucking always be like, "Oh, I'm just joking. Oh, I'm just joking. Oh, I was just playing around." Or they'll be like,
they manipulate the fuck out of you.
Yeah, they'll be like, you know, they'll be like, "Hey, what are you doing over there? Oh, you know, you're so ugly. Like, come on, you know." And they'll just underlyingly, passive aggressively say like mean and just hurtful things, and then they're doing it in a kiddingly manner. Leave that kid alone,
because they're putting seeds in your brain so that you have bad self-esteem issues. But then they're like, "Oh, that's not my fault that you're insecure."
Yeah, they'll straight turn it around and straw man you. Straw man, that's interesting.
I want to bring up an interesting point Jai brought up earlier. Remember we were talking about how people really will try to put a woman down because it uplifts them. And you were talking about in other countries, you know, like they like cut off a clit.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I never heard of that before.
So in other countries like Africa, Guyana, Trinidad, and certain countries like that where they veil the woman, and what I mean by veil is cover the hair, cover the face, and the only thing that's left showing on this woman is the eyes. And in those countries where they veil the woman, at a very young age, they actually cut off the clitoris so that the woman or the young woman cannot experience any type of pleasure. So in those countries, the woman is not to experience and know herself. She's only able to let down her hair in the presence of her husband or her man or her partner. And those are the things that are actually stifling the divine feminine on a deeper metaphysical and spiritual level. Like those are the type of heavy, energetic, unbalanced nodes that actually program the DNA. So throughout these generations, the woman is instilled with fear. And it carries on into our bloodlines. There's another thing. I was just watching a TikTok the other day. I was telling you about it. Out in the Congo, where this woman, these other men, these rebels, these pirates came into the country and killed her husband, but killed her. And this woman was pregnant, and she already had like a newborn baby in her hand while she was explaining this story. And the rebels came in and they killed her husband. But when they killed the husband, they tortured her. They made her watch. Pregnant woman made her watch as they tortured her husband, cut off his penis, and fed her the penis. Now, if that's not fear-based pushing fear into the womb or of the power of the woman, and being programmed mentally through visualizations of fear, terror, and actually feeding the phallus that impregnated her with the seed of this child. And so actually feeding that fear-based phallus to the child, to the woman. And she told that story like, you know, where do we think our power is really taken away from? It starts on a very deep energetic level. And in these countries, you know, since we're over here in America, like nobody really touches on that and really really talks about that and brings it to the surface. And
we're so privileged.
We're privileged.
We're so fucking privileged. And I don't take that for granted. Not one day in my life do I ever like want to be anybody else or want to live in any other country. And I mean, I do want to live in a couple other countries, but like what I mean is like a third world country where people fight for their lives in Palestine and just like everywhere, like South America, there's different areas where like these kids are working and they don't have child labor laws, you know, they don't have the privilege of freedom of speech. They don't have the option of joining their militias or, you know, the just being in war. And out here we take that shit for granted, and it really upsets me when people have the audacity to just pretty much turn the other cheek to these situations. We could never, like, I always tell people when they go through something rough, like, you just got to go through it and grow through it. That's it. Like, you never think you're going to survive a situation until that's your only option. You're either going to die or you're going to survive. That's the only two options. And how you survive is up to you. You're either going to grow through it, you're going to let it make you worse because, oh man, I have this baggage and I can't believe this happened. What was me? Mentality, victim mentality. Or you're just going to let it not faze you, you know, and you're going to be the same exact person you've always been and cover it with a rug. And I feel like with situations like that you just told us, that crazy ass story, it's just like this woman has to live with that. I can't even imagine even just the torturing part. And then you're going to go feed a fucking penis because there's different levels. There's uncomfortability around intimacy. So already seeing someone's privates is already uncomfortable. You know, now you're feeding chopped up remains from a dead person that you loved. That is just like sickening. And so I just like want to take a moment for everybody to just acknowledge your privilege, acknowledge the fact that you have a voice, that you are powerful in yourself. Regardless of pussy power, regardless of whatever, you have power as a human and as an individual to make change, to speak your voice, you know, and to speak your truth.
Absolutely. Because, you know, that's another way that they actually take the pussy power, is it doesn't even have to be through sexual acts. It could be through experiencing fear that has been projected onto you. Like that will actually even take that power from you. So I think there's some ways to actually heal and bring this power back into you. And so there's a couple of tools. There's a book from Montauk Chia. If I'm saying that, I hope I didn't chop that up. Montauk Chia. And it's called The Microcosmic Orbit. And so basically, the book is about you taking your sexual energy and from the root down where your sacral chakra and your root chakra is at, and it's about pulling that energy up through your spine and cycling it back over from into your mind and cycling it back over. And then this is the way that you build up your creative energy, and you can actually deploy creative projects or really come into your self-sustainment. So that's one.
I think that we should people are probably like, how the hell do you do that? I think we should
breath.
kind of visualize. The breath is one way because you're aligning yourself with that frequency like we talked about. So if you're standing up, you know, and you got your chakras, whatever, it's like goes all the way through the top of your head.
Yeah.
And you just visualize where that energy is, and you can try and just get in tune with it.
Yes.
And then slowly creep that sensation, keep the frequency. And it might be hard to do if you've never done this before. And just try and see it like a light traveling through your body and bring it all the way up to your head. And then go back down. And it's practice. It's not going to happen. Like, I didn't even just do it right now, to be honest. I could feel some of it, but I couldn't do the whole thing.
I felt that though. Yeah. And we can save that for another episode, is just really
energy manipulation
and energy healing.
Yeah, energy healing. I highly recommend, you know, really sitting with yourself, laying down, standing up, whatever you feel most comfortable doing, sitting down like with a pillow propped under your butt, because you want to stretch. We talk about this all the time. All the time. We're going to keep talking about it. You want to stretch out your muscles because that is releasing the trauma and releasing the stress. And honestly, I've felt more amazing in the past like 5 months because I took that meditation class.
Yes.
And because of that, I was forcibly stretching out my hips that are naturally so tight. And I just feel more confident as a person. I feel like I can move a lot like easier. And athletically, I've been in the gym and I just feel like stretching my muscles in my body and growing my body has helped me like come into my energy and into my power. You know, it makes me more confident. It makes me feel better. Not even just physically, but it makes me emotionally feel better. And I think like when you guys take the time of day, allot 5 to 10 minutes out of your day and just lay on your bed, on your ground, whatever it is, on a yoga mat, and just
and really stretching those hips out, because the hips are actually what hold the womb together. It's what holds the baby. It's what, you know, where our uterus is at. It is like where our portal is at, is in the hip region. So when we come into those hip flexors, it releases the baggage of the DNA that was passed on to us as women as well. It does. And it has, and as soon as you heal the hips, like, oh man, I didn't even tell you, Tatiana, I fell off that 3-story building and I almost shattered my hips in 22 different places to the point of almost shattering. I had to rehabilitate myself, and the hips is where the power lies, and it's right where the womb is at. That's where your power is at. I kid you not. When you start stretching those hips, it releases all of your trauma from your past lineage.
And I feel that. I'm telling you guys, I haven't felt like better than I felt at this exact moment. And I'll always say that. And one day there's going to be a day where I'm not going to say that, where I'm not going to be like, oh, I feel, you know, the best. God forbid. I hope that day never comes. But realistically speaking, we can't always be up on one. You know, there's always going to be ups and downs in life. And as of right now, I'm the best I've ever felt, happiest I've ever been, just amazing, amazing person. I am an amazing person.
Yes.
And that has taken, to get to say that, that's taken a lot of manifestation, affirmation, prayer, stretch, breath work, eating healthy, eating consistently.
Healthy.
I eat a lot. I eat a lot. And people like will say comments always. They'll be like, oh, where does that go, to your big toe? Because they'll see me and I'll be chowing down.
Damn.
But it's because,
I don't know why people be doing that.
It's because you need to fuel your fucking body. You need the vitamins that come from the food around you. You don't need to supplement shit. You don't need to supplement shit unless your doctor is telling you need to supplement something. You really don't. If you're eating a variety of a diet, you know, if you're eating your fruits, eating your vegetables, and even if you eat McDonald's now and then, like, it's all about balance, you know.
And that enhances the pussy power.
It really does. It really does.
It really does, because I think when we step into our pussy power, we understand and we step into the awareness of ourselves, that and how powerful we truly are to manipulate the things in front of us, to manipulate the energy, and to completely just manifest our realities. And it all does start with the diet and the minerals that we intake and consume. I agree with you on that, Tatiana.
So there you have it, you guys.
Yeah.
Pussy power. Please hold off. Be careful who you give your energy to. Be wise with how you use your power, because with great power comes great responsibility.
Ooh, say it again.
With great power comes great responsibility. Yeah, you guys, this was Pretty Girls Don't Speak.
Yeah, Pretty Girls Don't Speak.
I'm Tatiana. Thank you guys for watching. I'm so incredibly grateful for you all, and I hope that this episode, you know, helped you align yourselves with your sexual identity, your confidence, your power, and that you guys have found some form of healing in this podcast so far.
Absolutely. And I'm Jai, always staying fly, and I will make sure to drop all of the tools, everything that we talked about, some stretching material. We'll drop it down in the links below. You guys feel free to click on it and start your healing journey today and step into your pussy power today. All right. Thank you so much. We appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for embarking on this journey with us. Peace.